True story from the Liberian Civil War, about Edward and his Aunt Martha. My name is Racheal, and I want to share a story that young Edward once told me, a story I've never been able to forget. It's about his Aunt Martha and something that happened during the Liberian Civil War. Edward lived with his family on Old Road in Monrovia. His Aunt Martha lived in ELWA. She wasn't just any aunt. She was one of those strong, disciplined women whose presence alone made children sit up straight. But Edward and his siblings didn't fear her. They respected her. Aunt Martha would visit often, usually on weekends. She'd come on Friday, spend time with the family, and go back to her own home on Sunday. But one week, something strange happened. A man named Tamba, someone the family knew well, came to their house with devastating news. He said Aunt Martha had been killed by rebels in ELWA. What he didn't know, and what left Edward's entire family in shock, was that Aunt Martha had been at their house since Wednesday. She came earlier that week, laughing, talking, and even cooking for the family. Everyone ate the food she made. It felt like a normal visit. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Then on Saturday morning she went over to a neighbor's house to plait hair. She was well known in the area for her hairstyling. While she was there, her older sister, Aunt Howard, sent a boy named Joseph to call her back home. Joseph went and told her, "Aunt Howard is calling you." Martha smiled and said, "Tell sister I'm coming." Joseph went back and passed on the message. But Aunt Martha never returned. According to the woman whose hair she was doing, Aunt Martha had only completed 3 or 4 plaits when she suddenly said she needed to use the bathroom. That was the last time anyone saw her. She never came back. She never finished the woman's hair. She simply vanished. A week later, when the fighting in ELWA had calmed down a bit, Edward's family decided to go to Aunt Martha's house to find out the truth. And there she was, just like Tamba had said, lying in front of her house. It looked like she had been trying to run back inside when she was killed. Her body was already swollen and decomposed. But the part that no one could explain, the part that shook them all, was what she was wearing. The clothes on her body were not the clothes they'd seen her wearing at the house that week. They were the same clothes described by Tamba, the ones she had died in. Yet Edward remembers everything clearly. They saw her. They talked to her. She cooked for them. They ate her food. They laughed with her. But somehow, she had already been dead. Edward told me she was his favorite aunt. And even now, he still finds it hard to believe. Sometimes, when people die, especially in sudden, tragic ways, their spirit doesn't leave right away. Maybe they come back to say goodbye. Maybe they return to protect the people they love. Maybe, for reasons we'll never understand. But one thing Edward knows for sure, Aunt Martha came to see them one last time.